Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are, I believe, waiting currently on getting the next step of the Halloween flashpoint. It's past Halloween now, but that's okay. It's completely fine. We're just going to proceed here and work on our repairs for a little bit here. The Battle Master will be done shortly. Doctor's orders. Okay, so we're just going to go with the training module here. Fantastic. Gaining some XP. Perfect. We're going to tick forward another 5 days, so we will be done with our repairs before the financial report. Muffin Top will be back at the same time as the financial report. We don't want to tick forward an extra day if we can help it here. So, what do we want here? Well, we definitely want, honestly, I've been thinking a little bit about this choice. About Warlord versus Controlled Bursts. Sure, Controlled Burst gives -1 recoil, -20% jam multiplier, -10% heat generated. Does any of that matter, though, if you miss? That's kind of what I've been feeling like. I feel like Warlord is just generally better, because outside of this, like, the -10% heat generated is kind of the nicest thing there. I mean, the recoil is a thing, as well as the jam chance multiplier, but ultimately, you could still jam chance, even with that. The recoil, it's still gonna be a thing, and you have to manage it anyway. Same with the heat, honestly. If your plan for managing the heat is reliant on this -10% heat generated every 3 turns, it's gonna be problematic, if you ask me. I think that the accuracy is just better in pretty much every situation. That's the feeling that I've been leaning towards, and that's what we're going to go for.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Fantastic. We can also get Warlord here. You may notice our mech warriors are starting to homogenize. There's no doubt about that. And that is because I'm getting feelings for things just being better. Like, this is indicative. No. Wrong, Warlord. This is indicative of my opinion on these traits shifting into the they are unbalanced category. I mean, I've thought that about Bandit this whole time. I'm getting that way with Warlord as well. Like, if you're already taking Bandit because it's so strong, you have to take another trait in in the gunnery tree, in my opinion, because the other traits just generally aren't worth it. Ooh, skill 10 gunnery. Nice. I can't wait for Succubus to die. So, that's probably going to be a thing. We'll just do something along the lines of that. Like, yeah, our mech warriors are getting very homogenous. But that's just because I feel like the other things are either very situational or just aren't really worth taking. Now, this does of course mean I need to get used to using Warlord again. You're absolutely right about that in the comments. Yes, keep yelling at me about it. It needs to happen. I forget about it too frequently. Let's double check the mech bay, make sure everything's good to go here. It absolutely is. We're not surprised by this. I'm going to put the Urban Mech Legendaire mech back into storage. It's a good meme, but I don't want to be paying for it. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a nice money-making deploy here. Ooh, these are pretty solid, actually. I'm liking the looks of this one. This one's even better. This is an attack and defend, so it'll take a little bit of time. We could run it like here. Attack and defense tend to have kind of crappy salvage, so I think that this will be pretty worthwhile. Muffin Top is, of course, wounded, so we need a new pilot for the Battle Master. Luckily, we're quite homogenous, and it kind of doesn't matter who we put in if we don't have someone else with affinities, or can grow affinities. Like, that's the way that, in my opinion, we're differentiating our mech warriors right now, is via affinities, not via their actual traits. So none of these have Battle Master affinities. Taboo is the only one who can develop new affinities. And we should drop our second lance, absolutely. So we're going to drop in our Boar's Head Atlas, which has been refit a bit, I think. No, we chose... well, we did put in the LRM-20 with the Listen Kill instead of the MRM. That's right. Now, the Salamander is still running its Aero 4s because that was too expensive to refit to the MRM boat variant, but I do want to get that change done. And then we're just going to put in the Orion and the Hector, of course. And we're going to need pilots for each of these. Here's a Hector pilot. Here's a Salamander pilot. What do we got here? Nothing. A lot of nothing. Okay. Coma is then an Orion pilot, and we then just need an Atlas pilot. I'm not sure any of these are a good Atlas pilot. No, they are not. Our Atlas pilot is, of course, Taboo here in the Battlemaster. And I'm actually going to put him in the Atlas, and we'll put Panzer in the Battlemaster for now. Okay, something like that. That'll be fine. We'll go ahead and deploy this. Badlands, so we're going to be running a little bit hot here, but it's attack and defend, and it's 4 skull difficulty. We should have no problems with this whatsoever. Attack and defend tends to be a lot of little guys, and we should have no real problem dealing with them. If they start throwing that number of big boys at us, it could get interesting, and we might have to exploit the aggro mechanic a little bit, but we'll see. We will see. I mean, that is the reason that aggro mechanic is there, right? That's kind of a leftover from the base game, wherein you only had 1 lance to drop, but it was throwing you against, like, as many as 7 lances in the mission there, and so they would attack the base until you hit them, and then they'd aggro onto you, and yeah, that mechanic made sense in the base game. In RogueTech, though, where you can drop up to 3 lances, including vehicles, if you want to dilute your weight, which I don't, we drop 2 lances, but even so, 2 lances make attack and defend way easier than something along the lines of a single lance. Like, it's quite difficult on a single lance. But with 2 lances, easy peasy. Especially 2 lances like what we've got. Now, I would very much like to switch our Salamander over to that MRM boat variant, but that is going to require a substantial refit and quite a lot of cash to pull that off, which we are not yet ready to swing. Oh, do we have a loading screen here? Maybe. We do! So we need to defend the pirate base and destroy the pirate base. Well, that's awkward. Some of our favorite people are currently being held in a pirate prison facility, rather. We'd like to, probably also a private prison facility, knowing pirates. We'd like to break them out and evacuate them, but the prison's protected by a nearby military base. We're very competent at prison breaks, but less experienced at defending bases from lances of military mechs. That's where you come in. We'll seize control of the prison, and then you land and shoot anyone who tries to keep us from evacuating our dear friends. In fact, it would probably be best if you simply destroyed their base entirely. Wouldn't do to have them tracking us. Given the framing, I think it's best we never investigate who these dear friends are, or why they're locked up. That's good advice, Darius. We're just not going to look into that.
Command interface initiated.
This is an awkward place to drop. Okay. We've taken control of the facility. Do we have turrets? Yeah, they're going to keep coming in. That's their base there. They're going to keep landing reinforcements over there. Our forces are ready to assist in defending. They'll stay near the base and intercept any hostiles that make it past your lance. Okay, so we're going to drop, like, up over here. We are reasonably safe unless they drop a reinforcement lance over here, which I think is unlikely. I think that they'll drop reinforcement lances up here. That's our future evac zone. Lances over here, definitely over here. We've seen this map before. We move our way up this way, they'll have turrets for sure. Okay, sounds good. We're going to drop our lances here. Okay.
I feel a tremor, like there's creatures living beneath the surface. Okay, let's do this.
Interesting. That was very early. That's a warrior. Okay, it moves forward. So much for staying near the base and defending it. The Copperhead moves forward as well. There's also a heavy carrier and an Anubis back here. So this is a pretty light defending lance. These pirates don't have very much in the way of firepower, which I suppose explains why we have been hired. Okay, so who's moving now? It is the Anubis. The heavy carrier moves in phase 12. Now, we're not too concerned about moving here in phase 1. That damage isn't awful. We don't really have any LOS over here.
Commander.
Nor, I think, will we. This round 1 is going to be more about positioning than it is about actually firing. So we're going to move up over this way, and we're just going to try to close in a bit. We do see an Anubis and a carrier over here. Our hit odds are actually higher on this Anubis, despite their stealth generator, which is slightly surprising. I don't want to generate quite this much heat on a pot shot, but we'll generate this much heat with our heavy PPCs. And that was actually a hit. We'll take that. Not bad.
Ready for orders.
If that's the case, we should actually hello, pause menu. We should actually reserve here.
Affirmative.
And let them move. Okay. Sounds good. And we do want to destroy these reinforcement waves, if not for the salvage, then for the... Okay, that's just an autocannon or a rifle. Then for the bonus cash. I think we're going to continue... Well, this guy moved.
What do you
I don't
need?
think we need to reserve anymore. We now have a solid target. We're going to move up with our Battle Master.
Roger.
And our hit odds are going to be pretty low here. I'm aware of that. We're going to fire the Ultra AC-20 in X1 mode, and otherwise light this guy up if we can. These are pretty low hit odds.
Acknowledge.
Ooh, that was a solid hit with the UAC-20. I like it. Structure exposure. Okay. AMS. Okay. I was hoping to see what type of warheads they had on those, but
Commander.
not with the AMS intercepting them. The Black Knight can move up here. We get a lot of rolls with the Black Knight on someone like this. So our hit odds are low, but we're likely to do a decent amount of damage, especially crit fishing inside that exposed leg. Okay, that wasn't very good at all, but I guess that's fine. And now we know that this Anubis has AMS. Those look like standard missiles there, but 40 of them? That's quite a lot.
Ready for...
The Hector is going to step forward over to here. We'll see what we
On
see.
my way, double time.
Not a whole lot. I mean, we don't have sensors right now. This isn't shocking. I'm going to not fire this ERPPC because I don't really want to build up heat, but I do want to build up instability on this Anubis. That structure exposure was in the torso, not the leg. It sure looked like the leg to me, but I guess I'm wrong. Sounds good. We should tag first. Absolutely.
Lighting them up.
Not shocked about that.
Negative damage. Repeat. Negative damage.
So they should have an attacking wave here, and they should also have a defending unit up here, as well as some turrets. Now, our Salamander can move up. I don't really want to use Arrow 4s on this single unit here. We're not going to do that.
Good to
The
go.
Orion is going to step in over here. And actually, this might be a good time to Warlord. I use it when I see it on the bar. When it's hidden in the active abilities, I forget about it. 42%? Actually, that's pretty good hit odds on the Hellhound. Let's go ahead and Warlord that. Next round, these are going to be really good hit odds. We can actually fire this in X6 mode. Do it.
Aye, aye.
That did not go well. Okay.
Watch my heat levels.
I was definitely expecting that to go a little better than that. But it didn't, and that's okay. Phase 12 is going to be this heavy carrier. Let's see what he's wielding. Thermobarics. Okay, he managed to take out that Anubis. We'll take it. Ammo explosion there. Fantastic.
Waiting for orders.
Our Magcat Mark II I don't think is going to get into LOS this round. That's okay.
I live to
Our Boar's Head is going to get into LOS, but it's going to be a little awkward. We're not going to fire the sniper artillery, I don't think, but... Nor the LRM-20. We'll just pot shot with all of the... Well, not even the SRM-6. We'll pot shot with our lasers and call it good.
acknowledge.
Yeah, we didn't hit any of them. I'm not surprised. The odds were very low.
Negative damage.
Okay. Next round, now we have sensors. in theory. So the warrior is going to move along with the copperhead. That hellhound is getting very lucky. It's going to move very early, round 21. Next round, in fact. Or rather, next phase. Okay, the warrior backs off, fires on an LRM carrier out there, completely whiffs everything. Okay, that's not too bad. Are we not actually seeing any turrets over here? Ooh, this is a charge. The Hellhound is charging our Battlemaster. It does hit. Is that enough to knock it down? Yeah, actually, that is enough to knock it down. Panzer is piloting this, so we can't lose the pilot.
I'm hit.
I mean, it barely did any damage, in all honesty. But that's slightly awkward.
Yes, boss.
I mean, the Awesome is just going to walk in here, and this is just free at this point. Like, this is completely and totally free. This is going to be a rear arc attack, and I think, honestly, we fire this Rocket 20, in addition to the heavy PPCs. Light them up. Boop. I was hoping for both heavy PPCs to hit there, but
I am out of SR.
no such luck. The Hellhound is now knocked down. In the middle of a bunch of assault mechs. This was not his finest move that he could have made, in all honesty. Okay. That's not very bad over here, honestly. That's fine.
Aye, aye.
The Black Knight is... Are we going to advance, or are we going to hit the Hellhound with the Black Knight? I honestly feel like the Hellhound is a good target for the Black Knight here, because we can start fishing for crits in some of these somewhat less armored areas, and hopefully not have to use up one of our assaults here. That's a solid hit there. That's a lot of damage there. A leg destruction.
That's gonna hurt.
And a pilot ejection. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. Okay, so next up is going to be our Salamander. The Salamander will step forward, and honestly,
I'm there.
I think we will fire here, although we're going to want to save some ammo for these reinforcement waves. They will drop grouped up. But there's this Cattlemaster Archer combo over here that I do want to fire a standard indirect arrow 4 at.
I'm on him.
That was 2 very solid hits there. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, phase 18. Who do they move? We don't actually know. Okay. It's probably going to be one of these light mechs. Maybe the Cattlemaster. Maybe... It could be a Wolverine, I suppose, or a Phoenix. I would think the Archer would be a little bit later, because it probably... Ooh, that's a TBM-5 carrier. Okay. So, assuming our AMS intercepts the TBMs, we're okay. But we may want to prioritize that in case they get through the AMS. That said, our Hector can move up and go for that LRM carrier, and I feel like this is a solid target. These hit odds are worse than I expected, probably because they're out of visual range. Yeah, no visuals. That's fine. We're still going to pot shot this. That was a lot of damage there. Sadly, it spread out. Phoenix firing on our Battlemaster. This isn't surprising. The Battlemaster's knocked down. It's fine. It's completely fine.
Ready for orders.
The Madcat Mark II is going to sprint forward and take this position to shield that Battlemaster a bit. And I think that we will probably... Yeah, this is all firing blind out here. I think that we'll go for the LRM carrier again. I would like to see that thing gone before it moves. That was not great rolls, but it's okay.
Standing by.
The Orion can step forward and continue working on that. We're not going to be able to fire one of these PPCs. We could fire a Rocket 20 here. We are jammed on the heavy rotary AC-5, which is sad, but we'll just go ahead and fire this. I should have Warlorded some of those previous shots at the LRM carrier. That is definitely a thing I should have done. Heavy rotary AC-5 is unjammed. The LRM carrier moves now, along with potentially the TBM carrier and the Archer. Okay, it's firing at the Orion. That's not bad. Our AMS not doing great there. What we don't want is for them to be shooting at the Battlemaster right now. If they're not doing that, I'm okay with it. Okay, that's not great. Yep.
Oh, they don't like me at all.
No, they don't. And now the TBMs. So all of their missiles are moving simultaneously, which is slightly awkward. Okay, never mind. That's a Wolverine. Wolverine is not too bad here. Now the TBMs. So yeah, all of those at once. And that's why I don't like TBMs. Too many eggs in one basket. Too easy to AMS. Ooh, this I like. Nice. Okay, I was dreading having to use more turns on that. Our allied Anubis is way out here. Okay. Our Boar's Head is going to step forward.
Acknowledged.
I feel like we go for the Cattle Master here with the sniper artillery. And maybe even the LRM-20. Its rear arc is what is exposed, but that doesn't really matter. I looked off course. Yeah, it was pretty off course. Okay. That's fine. Panzer will stand up. And we'll step on forward. The Battlemaster shouldn't be knocked down again. So we'll sprint forward to here and drop that heat. We're out of range of everything, so that's good. Okay, reinforcements arriving in 7 rounds. That's a while yet. Our friend the Copperhead steps forward, does not fire. Our Awesome is running pretty hot. We're just going to position it like here, and we actually have eyes over here now. That's surprising. 27% looks like it's about the best we're going to get. I guess we keep hitting the Cattle Master here, but we can only fire the one heavy PPC, so odds are very low.
Target acquired.
That was closer than I expected, but no hit.
That's a miss.
Okay. Let's see what our warrior friend does. Fires on the light TBM-5 carrier, does not hit. That TBM-5 carrier is the pirate attacker force. And then these 4 are the pirate defending force. It looks to me like they do not have turrets. Which is intriguing, to be sure. See what our friend the Anubis decides to do here. It should come up and engage this light TBM-5 carrier, but I doubt the AI will do that. Okay, a little bit of damage to the Archer is fine. Phase 18, who do they move? It's the Archer. Fires on our Orion. Honestly, not a lot of damage going in there. That's fine. Running like dual LRM-20s, I guess. Our Hector is going to step forward. We don't have visuals very well in the Hector here, looks like. We can fire on the rear arc of this TBM-5 carrier. Hit odds are low, but let's give it a go. Okay. We hit 1 ERPPC into its rear arc there. The Orion can step forward to here, where it can also hit that rear arc. And we're going to do exactly that. Our heavy rotary AC-5 is back. I'm just going to fire it in X3 mode here.
Got the angle.
Ooh, I thought that was a dead TBM-5, but we split our shots there. Oof. At least there's no more safe side for it. We can step forward with our Salamander here. We need to be a little bit careful with the ammo of it, but I'm still going to hit the Cattle Master one more time.
Here we go.
Okay.
Critical hit.
It wasn't great, but it'll do. The Cattle Master steps forward, does not fire.
Yes, Commander.
The Black Knight is really going to want to move up a little further than this, but this is the best we can do, unfortunately.
Hauling ass.
So this position will have to do. And I guess we'll fire on the Archer, but odds are kind of low out here.
Firing on target.
Our HA-20 did okay. Sounds good. So they have 2 Phase 17 movers. TBMs. TBMs don't matter. This is why I don't like TBMs. Too many eggs in one basket. The same argument can be made about Arrow 4s, but they tend to sneak through AMS much more easily than TBMs do. Okay, now the Phoenix moves. Okay, getting a solid hit on the Orion, but his armor is fine. Sounds good. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish this up. This was always going to be a pretty long mission. You can leave your offerings, even. Don't use your offerings to the engagement gods, please. Just leave them. They don't like used offerings. But the offerings that you can leave take the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time. Don't leave the engagement gods used offerings. It will enrage them.